And we are
Oh,
rolling.
oh my gosh. I'm in a weird place right now. Welcome to the Attitude Shift. I am in a car, and it's not the virtual red Corvette tonight. I am in another car. Won't even go into detail how I got in here, but you are parked in a real cool place on a Wednesday evening, a special edition of the Attitude Shift as we prepare for Sweethearts Day. Hey, Siobhan, how are you doing?
I'm really good. I've got red behind me. I actually hung
I
up some
love
red
it.
for
I love
Valentine's
the
Day,
red.
so you don't see a blank wall. So I'm doing well, and we're sorry we're a little late, but Cupid was probably having a few
Shot me
drinks
in
or
the
something.
back.
It looks like you're in a hole, Mom.
I know. Can't figure out why. Don't worry about it. The show still goes on. We have Renessa real strong with us, so we can still go on. Don't pay attention to me. It's not about me. Don't look at me.
You do look like you're in a fishbowl, and
Yeah, fishbowl.
and everybody, you all know Ariel Butler, our newest
Hello.
co-host.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. And Renessa Rios is back with us. Last time she was on our show was when we were on Blog Talk Radio. And she is a love coach.
Hi there. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of today. I'm so excited to share love, dating, romance, intimacy, the good and the bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, we want to focus on matchmaking gone wrong, and Valentine's Day is coming up, so we thought we'd do that, and so we're going to turn some blind corners on love, and you are the person to go to, especially in Seattle. Specifically in Seattle, you are the matchmaker, Renessa, and you guys can always find her on matchdatelove.com, so check her out right there. Donna, take it away. Where are we going to go with this?
Let's go hard because someone asked me, did that still exist? And I was like, what do you mean does matchmaking still exist? Heck yeah. It's, that's what we do. We matchmake. I just matchmake. I'm trying, Renessa, trying to matchmake my mother-in-law right now with a gentleman. But I need some points. I'm going to jump right into it in this fishbowl that I'm in that I won't disclose where I'm at. But my mother-in-law is very hesitant to hold hands with this gentleman on the first date. She says she doesn't want to look easy. She's in her late 60s. Does that look? Is there a rule about when you can hold hands first date? What are the rules for older people?
Well, I think rules apply for all age groups. Otherwise, we're going to be just sending the wrong messages, right? And when it comes to matchmaking gone wrong, we all got the wrong messages. We thought somebody was someone, and then to find out later they're not who they are.
Right.
Or we all have stories of thinking we know something, and then finding out even years down the road that person doesn't value the same things we do. And so I think time is of the essence. Holding someone's hand on the first date can be a little bit pressuring. I think, a kiss on the cheek at the end of the date might be the most that I would think would be allowed on a first date, and that's if you're lasting more than an hour and a half.
I love it. I love it.
It's just in a place that we don't want to assume that this person's a good person, and at the same time, if they are a great person, then guess what you get? A second date. So why rush it? That's my thing. If time's the essence and you're a good person today, you'll be a good person tomorrow.
So, and she does have a second date. She has a second date this weekend.
She knows what she's doing. She's doing. She's been around the block, and I'd want the person to hold my hand if I fell down or something. So let's not say never hold hands on the first date, but totally do what feels right. But I think that you're right about the pressure that. Especially in the fishbowl that we all live in, we have, Donna, as a reference to you, we all feel pressured. I'm not even dating. I'm in a long-term relationship, been there a long time, and I feel pressured from people on Facebook that come and put little smiley faces on my pictures.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear us? Oh, great. The guest can't hear us.
Can you hear me?
No? We totally lost her. Okay, well, where was I going? Okay,
We'll
you
get
guys,
her back.
Ariel,
Yeah, I'm
do
here.
you get this where you get people that become friends with you on Facebook and then they start kind of trolling your pictures and putting little love notes up and
Yeah,
things like that?
Are the little pokes, you know? Or then I tell mom, like, why is it that as soon as I put something up, like, the person likes it, like, just like that, like fast? Mom's like, there must be, like, you can put someone on, what is it called, Mom? You can put someone on where as soon as they post something,
You're following them.
you're
you know,
following.
like like trolling them. You know.
Right. And I think they're, you know, back to the hands, holding hands. I feel like holding hands depends on, you want to look interested though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't even touch them or make any kind of contact, they may think that you're not interested in them. So maybe I feel like holding hands, you know, a little touch of, you know, the shoulder or the arm, putting their arm under their arm is okay.
Vanessa, can you hear us? No, she can't hear us still. Great.
I'm
Done.
unable to hear you guys right now. I don't know what's going on with the audio.
We can hear
I can call
you.
back in.
We can hear you.
I
so
hear
keep
you.
talking.
We hear you fine.
Okay, but she can't hear us, so we can't really talk to her if she can't hear us.
Okay, so anyway, let's wait. Let's see if she can work on and get him in and back in and out. She's probably going to try to call back in, and I'm going to keep going in my spaceship. One of the things that you were saying, Ariel, about showing that you're interested by holding hands on the first date. I can't wait for Vanessa to come back on that. But I think that there is a lot of pressure with those first date moves like that. That people hope that you get that intimacy on the first date. I watched The Bachelor, and I kind of no, really, and I wanted to get your feelings on that, Vanessa. But I think that there's a lot of pressure to get past the hand holding nowadays on the first date. And I'm talking to Ariel.
Pressure for a lot more on a first date. Let me tell you.
Exactly. Times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed. I mean, people think that if it's a third date and you're not making out and having sex, there's a problem.
Right.
Which is very unfortunate in today's society, how we put dating and relationship in microwave mode. And then we've got the divorce rate as high as it is, single moms as high as it is, teen pregnancy as high as it is, everything relating to one another based on intimacy and time and getting to know someone before you have babies and get married. You know what I mean? So, absolutely.
I think about when, in like the 50s or something, when kids would go out and they'd be like, oh, you went to Moonlight Park, and that was known as just the spot to go and cuddle in the car and kiss, maybe neck a little bit, but that was like a big thing, like, for them, just holding hands and necking. Nowadays, like you said, by the third date, they're sleeping in the same bed or moved in each other's house by now, it's definitely a time gap of change, definitely.
Well, I asked on my Facebook page just a few hours ago who had a bad blind date experience, and one of our good friends, Sandy Nielsen, she said, yeah, disco era, so I think, in the 80s, so I'm going to read this. She spent the entire night staring at this guy, or this guy spent the entire night staring at himself in the mirror while they danced. And then she I guess said, can I come up? And she said, yeah, okay. Like, this is when they get back to her apartment. And he comes upstairs to her apartment and right away asks where the bedroom was.
Wow.
And she said, no, you want coffee? And he says, you didn't think I came up here for coffee, did you?
Wow.
So what impression did he get during that time of them being together? They thought that it was okay for him to come up and assume that he was getting coffee.
Well, we don't have her to ask that, but he was looking at himself in the mirror, so I think he was having a great time on the date with himself.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, his whole attitude towards dating he wasn't necessarily looking for a long-term relationship. He was looking to get laid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa, what kind of signals do we send off on these blind dates? What are some of the things that we do, Vanessa, that we're not we're unconscious of that we're doing it?
Well, I think that it's a hard thing because we don't know what a man's motives are, and that's what I think when it comes to blind dates and when it comes to online dating, and that's why matchmaking, I believe, helps separate what someone's motives are. And that's priceless. When you know what someone's motives are, you can then be able to go, okay, this person's motives are long-term relationship, marriage, children. They're established in the workplace. That's a great motive and a background to see that. Now, when you're on a blind date and you don't know, or you're on an online date, all you saw is a photo and some sentences. That's all you got, right? It's like, here's a photo with some sentences, and it's like, what is this guy's motives? So you can go to the date and just be yourself and probably say only a few words, and that person's motives are going to be like, what are you doing later tonight? I bet your lips are real juicy. I bet if I was a kid, they just start going right off the bat, and you're like, whoa. So it really the person's motives are going to come out right away, in those first, or, even asking the right questions, like, where do you see yourself in a loving relationship? What does a long-term relationship look like to you? Are you, how do you value your family, or who are you most closest to in your family? Just asking a question like that gives you great insight to this person and who they are and their motives, whether or not they're just looking for a hookup or are they looking for a relationship.
So would you say that it's worth the investment to hire a matchmaker, to hire somebody to help you find the right people?
I know that I have a personal trainer, I have a business coach, I have a personal assistant. I can get as much help as possible. In today's world, we are just in that place of needing that support because our social groups have changed. We used to know people based on neighborhoods or based on families. We don't have that anymore. We used to be like, oh, this person's my cousin's friend of so-and-so. We used to be able to have these familiar introductions. And now with the love and dating relationship online and in person and social groups, everything's online. And you're either at work, at gym, or hanging out with the same people. So the referral process has really changed. You don't know where this person's background is and so on. So if you can afford a matchmaker, get one. If not, go to matchmaking events. If you can't go to matchmaking, like my matchmaking events cost $30, and you get to meet some great people, and you don't have to spend the thousands that it has to have a matchmaker, and at the same time still getting the quality and the introductions and being able to have those new beginnings. But if you can't do it, then you're going to have to do some great vetting. And asking the right questions is going to be that on the phone, or being able to say, tell me how was your day, seeing how this person's communication style is, what's the best part of your day today, what did you enjoy about your weekend, and you can really find out how that person communicates and how they talk in 5 to 10 minutes versus wasting 3 hours of makeup, hair, and a dress, and
right.
To do all that.
Enough I have to do my makeup for the show. I'm going to waste my time.
Renessa,
so let me ask you.
Matchmaker.
Sorry, say that again, Ariel?
Yeah, like what made you, become a matchmaker?
Well, before I became a matchmaker, I owned a nightclub. So I was, hosting events, Wednesday through Sunday, 300 plus people, and I'd be like, "Where's all the single ladies at?" I was the MC, calling all the single ladies out, asking, "Where's all my single guys with jobs?"
Where are you at? Definitely those.
That was the first thing. You could be at the nightclub, but you got a job. So that was my first background in matchmaking. Was owning a nightclub and doing that. And then on my off nights, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we decided to do some wine tasting, speed dating classes. And I could see in the Seattle area that there was, a lot of introverts or shy people. So I started looking for dating coaches online. There wasn't any in 2007, 2008. So where most people go to school to become a life coach, I became a dating and relationship coach. And then got that after 2 years, and then became a certified relationship dating coach, wrote a book, had that published, and then actually did an internship in Los Angeles with another matchmaker with the Matchmaking Institute to learn how to grow your database. How do you matchmake on lifestyle, compatibility, long-term goals, religion, all of those things that a matchmaker has to know, and a matchmaker is only as good as her database. I could say, I know how to matchmake you, but if I don't have a nice gentleman that matches the age range, your long-term goals, I'm only as good as the people that invest in the process.
Right.
So So I've been doing that now since 2009, 2008. And then in 2011, I sold my nightclub because I couldn't keep doing both. And now it's 2015, so it's been 7+ years that I've been doing matchmaking and just all alone now with just matchmaking for like the last probably 4 years.
Wow. So have you found love?
Oh yeah, I got a good man.
Yeah, good man.
I got me a good one.
and you can go to her Facebook page, and they're always doing some great things.
Yes.
They're always doing some amazing things. What I was going to ask you,
So
Vanessa.
I want to know how she found her man.
Right, me too. Exactly.
You got married since the last time we talked to you.
She did.
Right?
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Oops, I can't hear you guys for some reason. Why is my audio going out?
Oh my.
Because
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I found him, and then I might have to log back out. But I actually found him at one of the events that I was speaking at. He was a consultant for the conference, and I was speaking on romance, dating, and relationships, and my topic was orgasms.
Wow.
And so it was all about like how to just be free and set your atmosphere up with candles and ambiance, and how a woman really needs like not bright lights all in our eyes, and just really going into what it feels like for us just to relax and flow so we can create not only one orgasm but multiple orgasms. And so I went into this whole thing, and I was sharing that with the workshop of women, and there was another expert that was speaking about health and fitness, and my husband was the consultant for that expert. He's actually the health and fitness expert for Janet Jackson and Kathy Ireland, and so he worked with that whole team, and he was in town for that conference, and I started talking with him, and he was sharing about his family and sharing about his company. I was like, this man's got goals. He's a family man. He's got, all these great qualities. Here's my number. and we started dating and talking, and had a long distance relationship for the first year, and then we got married a year ago. So we've been together for 2.5 years. So I know the single scene too, because I was single before that.
Right,
so
and it kind of unfolded right on Facebook. I remember watching.
I can hear you, Donna. I'm going to log off and log back in. I'm going to log off and log back in.
As I was saying, while she's doing that, it was unfolding. It was so cool because you could watch Vanessa as she went out with this guy, and then when she got married, and you can see them on their dates and the things that they do. And it's cool because she's using her own medicine. You know what I mean? She's using her own advice, her own techniques, and you can see that. And that's why I wanted to ask her, when she comes back.
Yep, here I am.
Okay, awesome. Is it wrong to carry that checklist in our purses? I mean, is it wrong to whip out that checklist while you're sitting there? What do you do for a living? How are you in the morning? Is it wrong, like you said, we go out on these dates. Is it wrong just to whip our little book out and ask?
I think it's how you ask, right? Like, I don't go like, what is your job and how much money do you make? Like, I'm like, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy? Right. What do you do outside of work? Because I want to see how you spend your off time. And one of the things that I love was he's very much into personal growth and development, and so he's all into TED Talks and learning and growing. As a businesswoman myself, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. And so it's like, this is what I do. Matchmaking is my business, but business is my heart. And so to see that was something he enjoyed, and then he showed me a checklist of his day, and I said, oh wow, did you do all this? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's attractive. So there was a lot of things that we just felt really connected on, and God was a part of that.
Do you think that I have a friend who does all these dating sites, and she's like zero success. She keeps meeting zeros, right? Like, and they don't have any zeros on their paycheck either. But the thing is, as I said, I think that maybe you need to get out and go to events, just like how you met your husband. You met him at an event. So go volunteer, join a sports group, go to Legion's meet draw the Legion or something. Like whatever gets your interest. Go out and mingle. Is that not still like the way to do it?
I think that you should have multiple options. You have an online dating profile. That's wonderful. Being a part of a volunteer group, that's another great thing. Being a part of your chamber of commerce, because there's a lot of business executives there as well. Being a part of charity events or board quality boards, directors, where you're going to be meeting people who donate their time and effort and money into, efforts of our city. So anything that you could be a part of where you're around people that want to make a difference, personal growth and development workshops, your eggs aren't going to be all in one basket with online dating. So if you're just doing one thing, that's like putting your resume in one business every single week. You're going to get disappointed if you don't get a phone call. You're going to be upset when you didn't get that interview. But if you start putting it, you've got 10 different businesses, 20 different businesses, you're going to have a lot more success with getting those introductions, those conversations, and those date nights.
What about well-meaning friends that are trying to hook you up? Again, I got somebody who inboxed me with her story, and she said that basically this friend called her, told her to be ready and dressed in a nice outfit and to meet her outside a cafe. And she went, and she's like, oh, cool. It would be like me calling Donna up and saying, I'll be there in 5 minutes, grab a table, right? Well, her friend wasn't there. She got a text from her friend and said there was a man there, and she just wanted her to be happy like she was and find love. And she told the woman not to leave, to have a seat, to drink, to get to know him. Right?
I'm going to log back out, log right back in. I'm going to answer you in just a moment. I'm going to change this.
And she said she was really awkward. It was a really awkward situation. She was not expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have been.
What would you guys do?
That. First of all, I wouldn't have been very happy with that at all. Yeah, I would
like
not.
I said, you can look at it. You can look at it two different ways. You can look at it as stepping on in my space, when I can do this myself, but then you can look at it as your friend looking out for you, seeing that maybe I met a great guy, and I think you guys would look great, just like Mom is doing for Grandmother. She pushed this in Grandma's face, like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a great connection with this guy, and look what happened.
Right, but she had some kind of clue, to be put somewhere. And this is just me. I think I ought to be a little bit like, okay, so you got me here under false pretenses.
I like exciting things like that, and I would like it. I would like that. And my friend, I would trust my friend. Like, I would like it. I think it'd be fun. You never know what could happen.
True.
Well, Ariel, as I was telling you before the show, that's kind of how John and I met. Is a friend basically brought him home. She and her husband were out at a party. She met him. She thought he'd be great for me. They'd been all drinking, and I hadn't because I was home babysitting her child. And she calls and she said, I'll be there, we'll be there in 15 minutes. Put some makeup on. I was like, Grandma, are you kidding me? Right? And he looks like Barry Manilow. Which didn't help.
So sorry, I'm on my other computer now, so my apologies for being late there.
That's okay.
So yeah, if a friend is matchmaking, let me turn this off here with my other phone here. If you have a friend that's matchmaking you and then kind of setting you up on blind dates and putting you in a place where you could be uncomfortable, that's a huge red flag with your friends.
See,
right?
that's me.
Oh, but Ariel was just saying she like that. It's a little exciting.
I think it'd be fun. And I would totally do it to a friend of mine. I think it'd be great. You never know. And then if it's a free meal, you can go out and have fun with this guy. You may pay for a free meal.
Yeah.
I can look at the upside on a lot of things.
That's a great upside for looking at it. It's a great upside.
Yeah. And that is, like we said, that's each his own. I'm a little bit on the old-fashioned side. That's, but, different times, different people. What I'm going to ask you, you said something, Vanessa. You said red flags. And I want to touch on that real quick about some of the red flags, maybe for people that are new to the matchmaking and the online dating and all that. What are some of the red flags for the newbies out there?
I definitely think it's just time being the truth teller. Somebody that is really, there's those great sparks at the beginning. We have to realize that sometimes that person hasn't been in a relationship for 6 months or a year. So there's a lot of emotional openness, right? Because somebody's returning your phone calls, somebody is wanting to see you on the weekends, somebody is texting you, asking you how your day is. So there's a lot of emotional openness. That's great connection, but really being able to not match emotional connection with physical connection.
Well, I like that.
you know, being able to see that just because someone is supportive and good with their words doesn't mean that you have to have sex or move too fast into the bedroom. So take your time. Time is a true teller. Set some limits around what is it like to date you after a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year. You can see what it's like to date you in a year than the other person can. If you can, you got a 3-month, I'm all in, then it's going to, most of your relationships will look like that. So definitely making sure the red flags.
Do you think it's okay to date more than one person at a time?
I think seeing one person, more than one person, seeing is is different than dating. Seeing is getting a chance to be introduced, talking, but I believe once you, saliva is exchanged, this means first kiss, tongue down your throat, you better know that he's not doing that with anybody else, and vice versa with the ladies, that, you know, you're not doing that with anybody else. I believe saliva is the exclusiveness in my world. When we are exchanging saliva, you are in. You know, so that's, I take kissing as a very intimate thing, and it may be because I'm a really good kisser, you know, but if you're going to be kissing on me, you're in, you know, so I take my time before I give it out to anybody.
That's a good one. I like that.
So when is a good time to say, you know, how long till you say we're exclusive, or so it takes kissing to say we're exclusive and you're mine and I'm yours?
Yeah, I might not say, when I was dating in the dating world, completely different than in the relationship world, I wouldn't necessarily say we're exclusive right after, but I would say, are you seeing other people? You know, because I would want to know that, you know, and if they're like, if that's uncomfortable for you, then that means integrity and honesty is uncomfortable for you. So red flag right there.
Oh, yeah,
I like
that.
So if they're like, yeah, I am, you know, and I've actually had somebody ask me, Vanessa, are you talking? I'm like, yeah, I've actually got a couple people. I'm trying to decide if I want to be with you or not. You know?
So step up your game.
You want a list.
That's cool.
And
so on your website, I just want to ask you about something on your website.
Yeah.
You say interior design plays a role in a good dating experience, and you actually on your website said, is your bedroom inviting?
Yeah.
Why does your bedroom have to be inviting?
Well, once you do get to the intimacy stage of a relationship, that's, you know, a place that's going to set up the atmosphere for romance.
Where you
at that intimate level. Once you're at that stage, you know, women are going to be walking into a man's house judging whether or not they want to stay the night or not, or wanting to be there or not, or see this as a home or not, or see this as a bachelor pad or 3 roommates, or, you know, your home atmosphere does reflect the long-term situation of what's going to be manifested for you or not.
I believe that. I believe that's 100% true, because I love how you say when you're walking into, you know, the guy you're dating, his home, is it a bachelor pad? Is there, you know, guys hanging in and out? You know, that sets tone on as to, you know, what it's going to be like, how he is. When I met my husband, you know what? He was his mom did everything. She did everything, and I saw that immediately. I saw that she would do the laundry for him. She would pick up in his room for him, and guess what? Guess what? You know, I married him, and I knew that, but guess what I do? I do pick up. I do. I pick up. I saw that, and I even said, you know, you're a mama's boy. Your mom does all the laundry for you. She does everything, and wifey does it now.
Yeah, and you know what? And again, it shows there's some good and bad in that, right? Like the upside is clearly has a close relationship with his mom. Negative side is, you know, that he probably is codependent on somebody else doing his chores. And as a grown adult, that's a big thing, you know. And I think it sets up the home life. If you are wanting a family, if you're wanting a partner, if you are wanting a husband, if you're wanting a wife, you have to have that invitation. So what does your house look like if you are wife quality? What does your house look like if you are husband quality? So, you know, that's it. Everything has to be connected as to one. It's not, oh, when I get him, then I'll do this. Or that's the wrong way to be living life on all levels.
Yeah.
Not just with love.
So it is time to put it in park. We're at our half-hour spot, and with Valentine's Day coming up on Saturday, February 14th, everybody, just circle your calendars. Just whether you know, I think it's about love, and, well, self-love is part of that. No, I'm not being, okay, never mind.
It should be a day thing, not just one day thing. You should love your partner every day. That's what they say.
That's right. It shouldn't. It's a Hallmark day.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's a Hallmark.
That's all it is.
Right.
So, any final advice for those Valentines out there?
Is this for singles or for couples?
For
Well,
both.
for both.
I'm
Let's go for
single.
both.
Singles.
That's a good idea.
Give us some.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to singles and this is a Valentine's Day, I would do something where they celebrate themselves in love. When I still have this one spiritual coach who said, Vanessa, go do something you've never done for yourself. And I was like, really? I go to the spa, I do all these things for myself to make sure that I feel, like I appreciate who I am as a woman. But it really took me some time to go, where can I do something I've never done before? And so I went out and took like $100 in tens and went to the grocery store and just started handing them out to people. So 10 people got 10. And it was just a thing that I've never, and it felt so good. You know what I mean? And it just and I was going to moms with kids, like, here, this is for you guys. They're like, why are you giving them? I'm like, I just want to give out $100 today. And it was just, I picked 10 people, handed out $10 to each one of them, even to businessmen that were like all dressed in suits. And I was like, here, this is on your lunch. Like, are you serious? And, here I am dressed all up, handing out money to business.
How cute.
And it was just this time to just do something that I've never done. And I can tell you that it made me feel and elevate myself at a whole new level that you don't have to have a partner to get that feeling. And that's where, as a single person, it's how are you, getting your feelings, your vibrations, your mentality, your spiritual growth, who you are as a person to higher levels without waiting for that person in your life. So that would be my advice for a single person. And then as for someone that is in a relationship, I think it's the same thing, like trying something that you guys have never done before. There's actually statistics showing that couples that do new things last longer and have a happier relationship than those that are doing the same thing every day. And so if you are in a healthy and happy relationship, which I hope all of our listeners are, and if you're not, this might be a great way to recover that relationship. And, maybe it is both of you guys doing something where you're volunteering at a shelter, or both of you guys are trying something that's giving back. So I'm all about the volunteering and supporting that side of things. And then if you're not into that, then maybe going and doing a fantasy role play night. So, like I, am always into trying something new with my husband and being a new character and getting myself all into something new and exciting, and it's like, who else can you do that with?
Right.
That's what every single wants, is what you have. Somebody that you could be completely open, completely vulnerable, completely trustworthy, and you have it. So use it and experience it. And so role-playing and fantasy nights and getting out some hot wax and getting some candles and do it, that's what it's about with that partner. So those are my two tips there.
Devon, you wrote that down?
I got that.
Well,
I'm already hot.
And it's a little steamy.
It's burning up in here.
Steamy in my fishbowl here,
Woo!
My fishbowl's got a little steam going on in here,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Where can our viewers find you? Where can they find you, Vanessa? Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can go to my website, matchdatelove.com, matchdatelove.com, and then also I'll be having a TV show coming out soon and a YouTube channel with Renessa Rios, so you can find me on YouTube at Renessa Rios.
Awesome. And we definitely will find you. Any other words, Ariel, Siobhan, to take us out before I get out of this fishbowl, because I really am in one.
Happy Valentine's Day to all our listeners. I hope it's a great day. Whatever you do, make it a great day. I'm glad we had Renessa on. Thank you, Renessa.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful spirit with you.
Thank you.
Siobhan,
matchdatelove.com. That's what I've got. And I think that just love yourself first, and you will find happiness in the love department.
And candle wax.
And hot wax.
and just don't burn yourself.
All right, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you all. We'll see you next week with the Aftermath show. After the love has gone, after the flowers, after that, we'll see what happens next week. I'm out of this fishbowl. We'll talk again soon. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.